Hi friends, today I have few friends coming over for dinner. So I'm going to make Karnataka style vegetarian full meals thali. So I decided why not record this session and share it with you all. So before starting this recipe, please do subscribe to my channel and like and share my videos. So today's menu is, for appetizer I am going to make Uddina vade, and for the side dish I am making Kosambari. If you go to any wedding, festival or any other special occasion, the thali is incomplete without Kosambari. It gives a very light and refreshing taste. And for the main course, I am going to make Bisi bele, white rice, nuggekai sambar, rasam and mosaranna, which is nothing but curd rice. And finally for dessert, I am going to make Gasagase Payasa. I will be also using few condiments like uppinakai, Kara bundi for our bisi bele and sandige. So to begin with, I have already washed and peeled most of the vegetables, and here you can see I have also measured and kept rest of the ingredients as well. Now let's begin by chopping our vegetables. For bisi bele I am going to use one big red onion, which I am going to roughly chop up. And for the sambar, Kosambari, mosaranna and Uddina vade, I will be using the shallots. Use shallots or small onions. They really give awesome taste to any kind of South Indian delicacies. I am using 2 medium-sized carrots for bisi bele. I will dice them. And here I have also taken around 15 to 20 French beans, which I am going to roughly chop them. Now we'll cut the cauliflower, just a rough cut, just to separate the florets. And I have already diced my potato and I have added in the water as it turns to brown. And I am adding chow chow today as I couldn't find the kohlrabi, which is the navil kosu. If you can find kohlrabi, please add that to bring out the authentic bisi bele flavor. And for sambar, I am using the nuggekai, which is the drumstick. Also, I will be adding green squash and brinjal to enhance the flavor. I have here a small bunch of coriander leaves, which I will use for almost all the recipes. So I will just roughly chop them up. For Kosambari, I will be using 2 small cucumbers. If you are using big ones, then just use 1. I will be using 2 tomatoes just for sambar and rasam. So I am roughly chopping up 2 medium-sized tomatoes here. And finally, green chilies for curd rice and Kosambari. I am using 4 green chilies for both the recipes. So you can increase or decrease the quantity according to your taste. First, let's prepare the main course, which is the bisi bele. For that, I will be taking 1 cup of rice and half cup of tur dal. I will wash this twice and will fill up approximately about 3 cups of water. By the way, don't worry, I'll give the measurements in the description box, and most of these recipes have already been shared. So I will put the link in the description box below. You can check that out if you want. Now into this, I will add half of the roughly chopped onions, 1 medium potato, and all the chopped vegetables such as carrots, beans, chow chow and cauliflower. And since I am making this in a pressure cooker, I will also keep another bowl for the white rice as well. So in here, I have 1 more cup of rice, which I am going to wash twice and will fill up approximately about 2 cups of water. Usually for regular cooking, I don't measure the water, I just eyeball it, and I'm sure most of you do the same thing. Now in this pressure cooker, first I will place the bowl of bisi bele ingredients, and now I will place the rice. Now I will pressure cook this until 3 whistles and the rice and the bisi bele bath mixture will be ready. Now for sambar, I will wash half cup of tuar dal. We'll add the dal into the pressure cooker along with drumsticks, brinjal, green squash, around 4 to 5 garlic cloves and 1 roughly chopped tomato. Now to this I will add around 2 cups of water and salt. We'll mix it well, and now this is going to get cooked until 2 whistles. Make sure you just don't overcook anything, as you don't want your vegetables to become completely mushy. Now both the cookers are done cooking, so I will turn off the flame and will let it cool completely. Now let's prepare the masala for our bisi bele bath. So first goes about half cup of fresh coconut, 4 tablespoons of bisi bele bath powder. Don't worry, I will put the complete recipe for bisi bele bath powder in the description box, or you can refer my video of making bisi bele bath. I have shared the recipe over there. Here I have already soaked the tamarind for bisi bele bath, sambar and rasam. So adding just 2 spoons of tamarind and a little bit of soaked water. Also adding a teaspoon of turmeric powder. Now we'll blend this into a smooth paste. Something like this. We'll transfer this into a bowl and add water and remove the rest of the masala as well. Now into a pan I am going to add 4 tablespoons of oil and 2 tablespoons of ghee. Please don't skip on the ghee because it gives nice and authentic taste to your bisi bele bath. Now adding half cup of mustard seeds and 1/4 cup of broken cashew nuts. Now see, these cashew nuts have become nice and golden in color. Now I will add the curry leaves and rest of the roughly chopped onion. For this meal preparation, instead of bisi bele bath, you can also make lemon rice, tomato bath, wangi bath, or even vegetable pulao. Since I am going to use frozen peas, I am adding at this stage. If you use the fresh peas, just cook along with your veggies. We'll saute it for a minute, and now I will add the ground bisi bele bath masala along with 2 cups of water. Mix it well. Cover the lid and bring it to boil. Now I am going to add a teaspoon of jaggery and salt for taste. Now it's time to introduce the cooked rice, dal and vegetables. Mix it well and make sure there are no big lumps of rice and dal. Finally add in the coriander leaves and give it a good mix. At this stage you can also add couple more spoons of ghee to get that more rich flavor if you want, or you can completely skip it. Now our bisi bele bath is ready. We'll turn off the heat and we'll set it aside. Now let's prepare the sambar. First let's blend the coconut and tamarind. So in goes about 1/4 cup of coconut, a spoonful of soaked tamarind and about a tablespoon of sambar powder. I will put the link in the description box for the sambar powder as well. If you want, you can just check that out. Now we'll blend this into a smooth paste. Now that the masala is ready, let's prepare the sambar. Into this stock pot, I am going to add 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil is heated, in goes the mustard seeds, cumin seeds, curry leaves, few sambar red chilies. These are the round kind of chilies, and about half a cup of roughly chopped shallots. Adding mustard seeds helps to relieve gas or bloating, especially when we add lentils or legumes. That is why most of the South Indian recipes call for mustard seeds. We'll also add a teaspoon of asafetida, which is the hing. Hing is also good for digestion, and we have also added garlic, which is also good for digestion. And now adding a teaspoon of turmeric powder. And now in goes the ground sambar masala, and we'll let this masala come to boil. Now I will add the cooked dal and vegetables. Adding a little bit of salt as we've already added salt while cooking the vegetables. Now I will cover the lid and will bring my sambar to boil. Now our sambar is ready. Finally, I will scatter some roughly chopped coriander leaves and of course the flame. Now we'll set this aside and let's go ahead and prepare our rasam. Today I am going to cook tomatoes in microwave. You can obviously cook the tamarind and tomatoes in a pot. Since I've already soaked my tamarind, I will be cooking the tomatoes in the microwave. First I will extract the tamarind pulp. Now this is going into the microwave for 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, let it cool a bit. Once it cools, crush the tomatoes nicely and keep it aside. Now into this blending jar, I will add a teaspoon of whole peppercorns, a teaspoon of cumin seeds and around 10 cloves of garlic. Now we'll blend this into a coarse paste. Now see, this is ready. Let's prepare the rasam. Into a saucepan, adding a teaspoon of oil. Now goes the mustard seeds, cumin seeds, a teaspoon of asafetida, few dry red chilies and curry leaves. We'll give it a quick mix. And now I will add the coarsely ground pepper, cumin and garlic paste. Now I will also add half teaspoon of sambar powder. This is optional but it gives a nice taste to the rasam. Now I will add the crushed tomato and tamarind mixture along with 2 or 3 cups of water. Also goes in some salt for taste and some roughly chopped coriander leaves. We'll give it a mix and once it starts to boil, I will turn off the heat and that's it. Our rasam is also ready. Now that we are almost done with the main course, let's prepare the side dish. For Kosambari, here I have soaked 1/4 cup of moong dal overnight. Now I will wash it one more time and will strain all the water. Kosambari helps to keep your body cool as you will be adding moong dal and cucumber. It is my favorite. Now into a pan, adding 2 tablespoons of oil. Now in goes mustard seeds, cumin seeds and curry leaves, giving it a quick stir. And now I'm going to add roughly chopped green chilies and 1/4 cup of roughly chopped shallots. In goes a little bit of salt and 1/4 cup of grated fresh coconut. Now we'll add in handful of roughly chopped coriander leaves and that's it. I will turn off the heat. Let this mixture cool a little bit. In the meantime, add the soaked moong dal into the bowl of chopped cucumber. Remember, we are not going to cook the moong dal and cucumber. So add the onion and coconut mixture once it is cooled. You can always adjust the seasoning at this stage, but I recommend you to add the salt while you're going to serve this, as the cucumber tends to leave water if too much salt is added at the earlier stage. Now this is ready. Next we are going to make the curd rice. You won't believe, actually curd rice is my husband's favorite dish. So adding 2 tablespoons of oil. In goes the mustard seeds, cumin seeds, few cashew nuts and a teaspoon of urad dal. We'll roast them until the cashew nuts and urad dal turns to light golden brown color. Now adding couple of chopped green chilies and 2 tablespoons of roughly chopped shallots. We'll cook until the onions become slightly soft. Now in goes the curry leaves, 2 tablespoons of raisins and a handful of roughly chopped coriander leaves. Mix it well and turn off the flame. Now I'm going to add this mixture to a cup of cooked rice. Also adding 1/4 cup of pomegranate seeds. You can also add few small white seedless grapes to this if they are available where you are. Now adding some salt and a cup of yogurt. We'll mix it well. So there you have the delicious curd rice ready. Now let's move on and make our Gasagase Payasa. First, I will start off by dry roasting approximately about 4 tablespoons of poppy seeds, which is the Gasagase. Now I will dry roast until they're half done. My mom makes Gasagase Payasa for almost all festivals, and the poppy seeds also helps to cool your body and helps in getting good sleep as well. So for people with insomnia, must try this recipe. Now we'll break 3 cardamom pods and a handful of cashew nuts. Now I will dry roast everything for a couple more minutes under medium heat or until the poppy seeds turn to golden color. Now this is about half cup of fresh grated coconut. We'll also dry roast this for another minute. Now this is done. We'll switch off the heat and we'll transfer this mixture into the blending jar and we'll blend it into a smooth and fine paste. The mixture seems to be a little thick, so adding a little bit of water. See, this is the consistency I am looking for. Now I am adding 2 to 3 tablespoons of ghee. Once the ghee melts, adding 2 tablespoons of broken cashew nuts. Now these cashew nuts looks perfectly brown in color. So now I am going to add the raisins. And these raisins take about 15 to 20 seconds to puff up. So immediately remove them from the pan. And into the same pan, add half cup of jaggery. And we'll also add 2 tablespoons of water for the jaggery to melt. Keep stirring it until the jaggery melts. Now that the jaggery has molten, I am going to add the ground poppy seeds, coconut and cashew nut paste. And we'll give it a good mix until the jaggery and ground mixture comes together. Now in goes the roasted cashew nuts and raisins. Just bring this to boil and we're almost done. Now see, the payasa is also ready. Finally, just have to make some Uddina vade and sandige. For Uddina vade, I have soaked half cup of urad dal, which I am going to add it into the blending jar, along with 4 to 5 green chilies, a teaspoon of cumin seeds, teaspoon of whole peppercorns, and some salt. Now I will blend this into a smooth and thick batter. Now see, our batter for Uddina vade is ready. Into this I will add a pinch of baking soda, just a pinch. Few roughly chopped curry leaves. A handful of roughly chopped coriander leaves and a quarter cup of chopped shallots. We'll mix everything well. And now this batter is all ready to make some hot vade. Now I will add these into the hot oil one by one carefully and will fry them until they become nice and golden in color from both the sides. For the detailed techniques and the complete recipe, you can always refer my Uddina vade recipe video. Once they're done, I will remove them onto the paper towel for the excess oil to get absorbed. I am almost done. Here I have few fry-ins and these are homemade by my mom. So I will add these in the same oil and once they puff up like this, just remove them onto a paper towel. Let me know if you want to know how to make these sandige at home. I will try to share the recipe. As it is summer, it would be the perfect project. Finally, I'm done with all the recipes and I have arranged everything in a thali. Most of these recipes are already shared with you all. I will put the link in the description box if you're interested in learning any particular recipe, and you can prepare this entire menu for lunch or even dinner. I hope you liked my recipe, and if you would like to watch more such thali videos, do let me know in the comment section. I will try to come up with more interesting full meals videos for you all. Thank you so much for watching.